Peter, in talking with the Titans beforehand and at the combine, how much did you feel that they were interested in you at this pick?
Yeah, I felt like, obviously they probably had a need at O-line. I thought just my interview went really well. They seemed to really be interested in me and what I had to say. Coach Vrabel was very involved in the meeting too, which I thought was a good sign. So yeah, I just felt like, that I could be a possible fit there, and they definitely seemed interested in me too.
It's going to be a very popular question here as to whether you're going to be the left guard or the left tackle. How much do you pride yourself on being a tackle, and how much would you like to be a tackle?
Yeah, personally, I don't really have too much of a preference. I'll play where the Titans need me to play. I think my biggest thing is I can play any position, including tackle, but guard, center, whatever, right side too. But I'm here to help the team, so I'll play wherever.
What do you say, Peter? I guess, if anyone had anything negative to say about you, it was the arm question. How did you sort of overcome that when people might criticize, the arm?
Yeah. Obviously that came up a ton. Just felt like there's so much more that goes into a block or a pass block or run block than just arms. Obviously, I think there's things I can do to fix technically with my hands that I'll just continue to work on to alleviate that. But there's so much more in terms of footwork and hand placement and hand usage that I can definitely use to just overcome that arm length deal.
You consider yourself more of a? Can you ask that kind of mute? It seems like one person.
Yeah, someone unmuted.
I think you just did.
I think we just a reminder for everybody else in the chat, make sure you're muted.
Peter, do you feel like your strength is more of as a pass protector or a run blocker?
I think I've become pretty proficient at both. I think early on in my career in college, I was definitely more of a pass protector, but really worked hard, in recent years to get better at run blocking too. So I think I can do both well. Obviously, O-linemen, we love to run the ball. So run blocking is a ton of fun, but love the pass block too. So I don't know if I really have something I prefer when I'm more proficient at. Obviously, just try to perfect either both sides of the game.
From that perspective, Peter, as you've looked at like the Titans previously,
I don't want to say that they didn't do a good job and then get everybody.
Oh my God. That's Stillman.
That's Stillman. Mute yourself, Stillman. Sorry. Peter, just coming to the Titans, knowing their history recently of running the ball, I guess, would this have been a preferred destination from that perspective?
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, I'm an O-lineman. I love to run the ball, and the Titans are obviously huge on that. So was really, really happy with that. So that was definitely a big thing that I thought, man, Titans would be awesome just for that aspect alone.
Peter, your conversations with Rand Carthon, with Mike Vrabel, with Coach Haas, how much did your versatility come into play as far as talking to them and saying that was something that they liked about you?
Yeah, I think any O-line coach or coach is going to like that. Obviously, you never know what's going to happen in O-line, so we want guys who play, who can play multiple positions, which I think I can do. And I think obviously, Coach Haas and Coach Vrabel really valued that. So I think that was an asset for me in this process.
Coach Vrabel, one of the words Coach Vrabel used to describe you was violent. Peter, is that a good thing in the world of the offensive lineman?
I think so. Yeah. It's the trenches, man. You got to be violent.
Peter, how'd you settle on a pizzeria? What's the significance of the party where you're at tonight?
Yeah, we've come here my whole life. My dad's an investor here. My baptism reception was held here. So it's about as old as I am. So felt like, best place to have this major event. And pretty private too. So definitely a top spot to come.
How much, who you kind of modeled your game after? I've heard you talk about Slater and what he meant to you, but how much he meant to you, and who else you kind of think you're similar to, perhaps?
Yeah, there's tons of guys that I watched growing up and continue to watch. Rashawn Slater, obviously being number one, having been my teammate. Growing up, I love watching Quentin Nelson, Joe Thomas. Haven't been a Packers fan growing up, Dave Bakhtiari. I don't know if I necessarily am just like them in that sense, but I think it's someone, guys that I look towards and, trying to take stuff from their game and try to emulate that. But those are definitely some names that I really like to watch.
What are the biggest differences for you between playing guard and playing tackle?
I'll be completely honest. I don't have a ton of experience at guard, especially at the college level. I know that things happen a lot faster, especially, in pass rush for sure. So it'll be a timing thing for sure. I think that'll challenge me. Sorry, can you guys hear me still?
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you.
So I think, obviously not a ton of experience, but, ready to learn anywhere and just adapt to whatever position I'm at. But I guess I'll learn that as I go in the process.
Look forward to meeting you. Thanks.
Is anybody that is participating remotely, you can ask questions now. If what's that?
Hey, Peter, I'm gonna dive in.
Yeah,
I
go
guess
ahead.
describe the scene, I guess, at the pizzeria and how many people there. What was it like when you were picked, and why you outside now?
Yeah, I'm outside because there's about 100 people inside right now, and you guys will not be able to hear me. I'm sure you're struggling anyways. But outside right now because just tons of friends, family, coaches, teammates, just everyone's so excited and supportive of me, and had to run away like in the corner to get the phone call originally, but just awesome to be surrounded by so many supportive people and a lot of people for sure. That's why I'm outside right now. So
What's the name of the pizzeria?
should I reveal that? Well, just for the sake of local media, maybe keep that private. Maybe sometime tomorrow I can say it. Yeah.
What kind of pizza did you get, and how many cold brews have you had?
I probably had one beer. I don't know. Got to stay locked in for the night. But tons of pizza though. I've been eating. I don't know if you guys can tell. I'm pretty sweaty right now. It's hot in there.
And if you could talk a little bit about I know you grew up in a football family, just maybe how much of an impact that had in your career of kind of loving the game.
For sure. Yeah. My grandfather having played with the Packers, just wanted to follow in his footsteps, and play in the NFL someday. So that's just been a goal. It's been a goal of mine since I knew what football was. So super happy. And yeah, just happy to be carrying on his legacy.
Kayla.
Hey, Peter, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yep, I can.
Hey, first of all, welcome to Nashville, man. I know that you are a Big Ten guy, so just curious of how much you know of Nicholas Petit-Frere, who will be your new teammate there on the line.
Yeah. No, I've obviously watched him a ton on film in terms of scouting other defenses, and I've always thought he's a really good player. Just so athletic and physical. Just kind of someone that you want to play as well as too, because he's he had a great career at Ohio State and has started off really well with Tennessee. So excited to play with him for sure.
And correct me, I don't know if you've been asked this earlier on, but Nashville, have you been there before? Like, what's your thought process on the city, or if you've even ever experienced anything here?
I tell him about Vandy. I just came here one time for a visit to Vandy.
Okay.
That's been just here for maybe 24 hours, but I've heard tons and tons of good things about Nashville, so really excited about that.
You country music fan?
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
How close did you come to picking Vandy?
Not super close. Just being honest.
Anybody else have anything?
I guess I may dive in with one more. You know about Derrick Henry. I know it was asked earlier about the way the Titans play. How much have you watched them over the years? How familiar are you with the rest of their team?
Yeah, I'm decently familiar. Obviously, Derrick is one of the best, to run the ball in the league right now. So going to be an honor to block for him. Obviously, I know they're just a really, really physical team and a team that's always competitive. Even I know they had a lot of injuries last year and still a really, really competitive team. So I think that kind of mentality as an organization, I think I'm really happy to be a part of, because Titans are kind of known for that. I've already got family members coming up to me, even at the party right now, saying how much they respect the Titans, how much they love the way they play. So really happy to be a part of it.
Seen a lot of scouting reports and other people give their takes on you. How would you describe yourself as a player coming into the NFL? What are you good at? What do you need to get back?
Yeah, I think I'm someone who, just off the top of my head, consistent pad level, footwork, mirroring rushers, physical in the run game, finishing. Just in terms of working on, I think, efficiency with my hands, both in the run game and pass game, and in terms of hand usage and hand timing with my punch. So obviously there's tons of stuff I can work on. That's just what comes off in the top of my head.
You sticking with that number 77? And are you a fan of Taylor Lewan? Any? You watch him play any?
I am. Yeah, no, he's real physical. I love watching him play. Yeah, definitely big shoes to fill there, but love the 77 too. I don't know. Is it available? Probably is available. I don't know. Yeah, you know, he's a beast. Another Big Ten lineman too. So, and love busting with the boys too. So.